friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind God Updates and God Too, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Family vacation takes deadly turn and wife wants to save others from shallow water blackout. Written by Heather Riggleman, read by Julie Provost. A family vacation takes a deadly turn, and now a wife wants to save others from a shallow water blackout. What might have started as a carefree game of holding breath underwater quickly spiraled into a life-threatening situation. Amid a serene summer day at a North Carolina island resort, Erin Watson and her husband Chandler, along with his family, engaged in a familiar challenge: swimming the length of the pool without surfacing for air. It's a game they had played so many times while on family vacations in the past. With laughter and excitement echoing through the air, Chandler, vibrant and full of energy, eagerly accepted the challenge. However, as he reached the far end of the pool and remained submerged, what began as innocent fun took a perilous turn. Bubbles emerged at the water's surface, initially dismissed as part of the game. Yet, as seconds turned into agonizing minutes, the jovial atmosphere dissolved into fear and panic as Chandler's loved ones realized the gravity of the situation unfolding before their eyes. Chandler's mom grew increasingly anxious and hurried to the poolside, calling out to her husband in alarm. At first, Erin couldn't quite grasp the urgency of her mother-in-law's reaction, but as Chandler's dad moved to pull him out of the water, Erin knew right away something was deadly wrong. The second his dad got him out of the water, we could see his gray skin and blue lips. He was limp and lifeless. His dad checked his pulse and realized his heart had stopped, so he started performing CPR by the side of the pool, Erin recalled. God had the right people in the right place at the right time. 2 doctors were also lounging by the pool that fateful day and rushed over to help as they knew seconds a situation like this mattered. Doctors continued CPR while waiting for the ambulance to arrive. By then, Chandler had not breathed on his own in more than 5 minutes. All hope seemed lost. In a last-ditch effort, the paramedics used a defibrillator to try and shock his heart into starting. One paramedic suddenly shouted, "There's a pulse!" Chandler was then rushed to the hospital, where he learned he had fallen victim to shallow water drowning. The phenomenon of shallow water drowning stems from the deceptive nature of holding one's breath, as Chandler did before submerging. This action tricks the mind by maintaining exceedingly low levels of carbon dioxide in the body, effectively hindering the brain's respiratory signals. Consequently, individuals may experience a sudden loss of consciousness, rendering them vulnerable to the silent peril called shallow water blackout. The mortality rate associated with this type of incident exceeds 90% due to the absence of visible distress signals. Remarkably, this particular form of drowning unfolds 4 times faster than conventional drowning methods. It's nothing short of a miracle that he is alive today, 2 years on from the incident. In a remarkable turn of events, God's grace intervened that fateful day, sparing Chandler's life from the brink of tragedy. Chandler and his loved ones are on a mission to raise awareness about the dangers of shallow water drowning. Throughout their advocacy efforts, they aim to educate others about the silent peril lurking beneath the surface during seemingly innocent pool activities. Chandler's journey, marked by a clean bill of health, followed rigorous medical examinations, stands as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the remarkable power of faith. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Family needs prayer after dad gave his life to save son, only for the little boy to die too. Written by Hallie Wells, read by Julie Provost. Parents can imagine no greater love than our love for our children, and that love is what sent Barry Mason back into his burning home to save his precious son, Ethan Mason. The town of Wigan in Manchester, England, is grieving after an early morning fire on April 14th claimed the lives of a father and son. Witnesses saw 45-year-old Barry run back into the burning building to save his 4-year-old son. Responders rushed Ethan to a local hospital in critical condition, and Dad, Barry Mason, lost his life while attempting to save his son. Following surgery, Ethan was placed in a medically induced coma while being treated. However, little Ethan died 3 days later on March 17th, having sustained burns over 70% of his body. Detective Inspector Lee Grinley of Greater Manchester's Police Wigan District told The Independent, "This is a devastating incident, and all of our thoughts are with the family of this young boy, who has an entire life ahead of him." He continued, "Together with the earlier death, this is a tragedy for the Wigan community, and I know that many people will be shocked by this heartbreaking news. I hope people will join us in sending their absolute best wishes to all those involved in this incident as they begin their journey in the healing process." According to the Manchester Evening News, the blaze started in the home's kitchen around 2:30 a.m. Although police are investigating the fire, they do not believe it to be suspicious. 6 family members were in the home that night. Ethan's mom, Kelly Wilson Cooper, and her other children survived the tragic fire and are left to mourn and rebuild after losing so much. Jessica Wilson, Kelly's sister, started a GoFundMe campaign to assist Kelly with the financial burdens that she'll face in the midst of her tremendous grief. The fund has raised over 61,000 euros, which equals approximately $66,000. Barry's family has described him as a devoted daddy and a superhero. His sister-in-law Jessica shared on her Facebook post, "Barry, we are heartbroken. Such a gentle giant and a devoted daddy till your last breath. Words will never describe just how grateful we are to you. Hold our baby tight up there." Praise be to God and Father, our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God. 2 Corinthians 1, 3-4.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.